Our forces have been struggling since the loss of the Meridian Complex. We've given up the Atravis, Bormia, and Anoat sectors, almost entirely. Morale is suffering significantly. The Chancellor is hoping our task force can turn the tide.
We'll get it done. The Republic hasn't lost yet.
Agreed. This war is far from over. Aside from the occasional pirate, supply and communication lines between Odessan and Republic Command appear to be secure. I've gathered an initial complement of security personnel and patrol ships to be stationed here. Dossiers and technical specs have already been forwarded to your staff for review.
It would seem prudent to station additional forces here as well, to support any urgent missions that come up.
Only on the condition that they stay in approved parts of the base. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, we have no intention of crowding your Alliance personnel. On the subject of transports, we've had some issues with cargo ships moving through Hutt space. Nothing violent. Not yet, at least. But we're seeing constant delays in refueling, purchasing supplies, and processing transactions in their territories. Delays we can't afford. I don't have much experience dealing with the Hutts, but I expect they're looking for bribes to speed things along. How would you approach the situation?
The Hutt cartel acts tough, but they can't put up a real fight. Give them a bloody nose, and they'll remember who's in charge.
Risky, while we're so heavily engaged with the Empire. But if it will get our forces moving more quickly, so be it. I believe that covers our most pressing...
Who's this?
Jakaya Ordo. One of my best. He managed to avoid my notice for too long, but now I've put him to work. Though I'm having second thoughts.
I would gladly go back to being an unknown, Great Mandalore. I prefer the talk of warriors to the endless jabbering of politics.
The curse of being skilled at both, you old rancor.
So you're the one. Not sure if I should call you Commander.
Friend is fine, if it's all the same to you.
Friend it is. Bersha in Mandoa. The fact is, I wanted to meet you. I only know your reputation. I don't know you. It's my job to take a hard look at anyone this close to Mandalore. I've worked with enough outlaws to know you like to take risks. All of you are either foolish or impossibly brave. If Mandalore herself calls you an ally, you must be a good mix.
Takes a bit of both to survive in this galaxy.
No disputing that.
So what happens now?
I've seen your face. Looked into your eyes. That's what I wanted.
Satisfied?
For now.
Good. I'm sure you have more important things to do.
Some clan grumbling to track down. More than the usual complaints. Raz and I will check into it. Jakaya out.
Ras?
His brother. They're a family of Mandalorians. Lost a sister a few years back.
Something wrong?
That's the first time he's mentioned a clan issue. He oversees a lot of the day-to-day details without a word.
If it troubles you, take action.
I did. Jakaya is better at rooting out these sort of problems. He kept an assassin's knife out of my gut more than once. You're a leader. How would you deal with unrest in the ranks?
Division makes all of you vulnerable. That could cost lives.
You have more in common with Jakaya than I thought. He demands order. Without it, he says you have a mob instead of allies. Well, looks like I've got reports to review on escort missions we've been overseeing. Jakaya snuck them into the transmission. Sneaky Chakar.
I'll leave you to it.
Did you learn anything from the clans?
Nothing I haven't mentioned before. A lot of heated words. Some are saying Mandalorians are just glorified couriers.
Still unable to see past their next fight. All tactics and no strategy.
However restless you are in the position, Mandalore, you sound like a leader.
I sound angry. My blaster is still a better negotiator than I will ever be. What about the escort runs?
Silence. But only a fool would believe they haven't heard something.
What happened?
Some of the cargo ships we were looking after ran into trouble. Mostly scouts sniffing around. But one exchanged fire. We've been looking into it.
Jakaya?
Bersha, we meet again. I've been keeping an eye on you.
And?
Mandalore was right to stand by your side.
Sounds like you should be watching someone else.
Always.
Who would attack Mandalorian ships?
That's the real question. They're well equipped and they know our methods.
This can't continue. Any hint of weakness, and you'll waste time fending off anyone with a blaster.
I agree. Whatever's going on, it must stop.
Any leads?
It's not bandits. It's not even a cartel looking to make a mark. This feels different. Like they're testing our defenses. I know you object, Mandalore, but we must look closer to home.
I don't object. I just want to be sure. Would some of the clans really go that far?
I'm not ruling it out. Like I said, there were some heated words.
The Mandalorians have a long history of fighting each other.
It's in our blood. We should have clamped down harder on the clans when we had the chance. The wound has festered.
No, Mandalorians aren't droids. We're best when we don't have some restraining bolt on our neck, even if it costs us.
It's much harder to clean up a mess than prevent it.
First Jakaya, and now you? You think Mandalorians need a nursemaid?
No, just a reminder of what's best for everyone.
I recall when leading was about being the strongest. Things have gotten complicated. But enough talk. Our agreements must continue. We gave our word those cargo transports would be safe.
Understood, Mandalore. I'll see if I can draw the enemy out. Can't fight what we can't see. If I'm lucky, I'll make them mad enough to come out and play. Jakaya out.
I'd prefer a fight to all this sneaking about.
Nothing wrong with sneaking around, but I get your meaning. Keep me posted.
Count on it.
Commander, just got an interesting message from Master Nostroll.
What did he say?
Just that he wants a meeting, right away, with you, and only you. Preferably in the most secure space we've got.
I'm very busy, and I don't appreciate being put on the spot like this.
Well, whatever's going on, it's obviously a big deal.
All right, get the operations room prepared. I'll wait for Nostroll there.
Will do, Commander.
Hello again, my friend. Please forgive me for putting this all together on such short notice, but it was too important to wait.
Glad to see things are going so well around here.
I thought it would be just the two of us, Nostroll.
Wow, nice to see you too.
We really should get on with the meeting. We don't have a second to waste.
Agreed. I have other things to take care of, you know.
Noted, but what we're about to discuss takes precedence over any other Task Force Nova responsibilities. This is Erin Lanier. Master Satil connected us. She had interesting news to share.
The Erin Lanier? You faced Malgus at the sacking of Coruscant and lived to tell about it. I'm kind of starstruck.
How many times have you walked away from Malgus? We could start a club.
I'll bring snacks. I make a mean bloom fruit cooler.
Aaron lives on Dantooine. There's an abandoned Jedi enclave there with an untold number of ancient relics and artifacts. It would spell disaster if they fell into the wrong hands. Unfortunately for us, Darth Malgus just walked right into those ruins.
Malgus? Are you sure? Nobody's seen him since the Meridian Complex.
I'm sure. I sensed Malgus before he even set foot on our soil, and I saw him. I followed him right into the Enclave.
Is Malgus still on Dantooine?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't hang around there for long. Something felt very different about him. There was no way I could face him on my own. I'm not ashamed to admit I'm not the fighter I once was, but Malgus, it's like he's just as powerful as the last time I saw him. More powerful, even. Someone more capable needed to know what was happening, so I ran before he could figure out I was following him. Packed up my family and went straight to Master Satil.
Well, I didn't expect Dark Lord of the Sith infiltrates ancient Jedi ruins to be on my agenda today.
We need to figure out why Malgus chose Dantooine, and for what. Master Nostroll, how do we handle this?
General Daerun is on standby. He's ready to deploy military reinforcements, if necessary. But he and I agree that we should keep this quiet. We don't want to cause a panic on Dantooine, or let the Empire get wind of what's happened.
What are you suggesting?
Search the Enclave and find out what Malgus was doing there. Arn has studied those ruins before. He can back you up.
Were you listening to anything I just said? It'll take more than the two of you to bring Malgus down.
When these two faced Malgus on Corellia, they nearly defeated him for good. If Malgus is still in those ruins, they'll be ready for him.
I don't know if Arn is ready for this.
Thanks a lot.
I have complete confidence in Arn's abilities. I wouldn't be so quick to doubt him.
If you're determined to do this by yourself, at least let me get you to Dantooine and point you in the right direction once we've landed. I'll be waiting by the shuttle.
I'm glad she's offered to help. She knows Dantooine and Malgus, and she'll do whatever it takes to ensure her family's safety. But remember, Aaron Lanier was once a Jedi, but she is no longer part of the Order. Her only responsibility should be getting you there and back safely.
I'll keep that in mind.
We should get going. We wait too long, and I doubt there will be anything to find in the Enclave.
I'm right behind you. I just need to let my people know where I'll be.
Got it. Meet you at the shuttle.
Hello, Commander. I was not aware we had any scheduled meetings.
We didn't, but if I don't call now, I won't get another chance. Darth Malgus was on Dantooine, in the Jedi Enclave ruins. I don't know if he's still there, but the Republic is sending me to investigate.
Do not fear, Commander. Imperial intelligence officers recently received intel that matches what you've said. We will be deploying our own mission shortly. I will, however, relay your report to Lord Zarian. He will greatly appreciate the fact that you were so forthcoming.
What were you saying about unwanted attention?
Unbelievable! How in blazes did the Empire find out about this?
By doing something shameless, I'm sure.
Being ruthless works. If the Republic didn't debate every decision, we might have gotten here first.
There's no time to point fingers. We need a new plan. I don't think walking through the front door is gonna work.
I can show you a way in.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. You still want to do this quietly. A lot of people salvage things from the Enclave ruins to get by. It's not a very well-kept secret, and the government frowns on it. The scavengers build hidden access tunnels. We find one, we get in. Hopefully without too much resistance.
Then that's what we'll do. Let's move.
We're right behind you. What's that thing?
A Grawl. Biggest one I've ever seen.
What's wrong?
When I followed Malgus down here, I walked right through these tunnels without any problems. Sure, I saw a few creatures here and there, but they left me alone. They didn't attack like this. Whatever Malgus has done in here, it sure seems like he's gotten everything riled up.
They're attacking us, like animals do. I doubt Malgus had anything to do with it.
I wouldn't be so sure. The Force feels so unnatural here. These halls have seen so much pain and suffering, it echoes through the Force. It wouldn't surprise me if Malgus did something to tip the balance.
It's an abandoned Jedi temple, nothing more than a bunch of old rocks. How bad could it be?
I don't exaggerate. Betrayal, murder. The Sith were ruthless when they destroyed the Enclave. So many senseless deaths.
She's right. And things weren't exactly ideal before the Sith came. The Jedi here could alter a person's memories if they thought someone was susceptible to dark side corruption. They could wipe minds altogether. Maybe worse. No one knows what these Jedi were fully capable of. Not even Master Nostaral.
It's too bad we can't learn more from them. The Republic could use tactics like that.
Then we'd be no better than the Empire.
All right, enough. We're wasting time. We're on the right track. Let's keep moving.
Excuse me for a moment. There are insects I need to crush. If only you understood the error you've just made. I almost feel sorry for you.
Yeah. Save the spooky Sith threats. You think I haven't heard that one before?
This'll be the last time you hear it. Or anything at all. Your meddling stops here, worm.
If you know where these tunnels lead, tell us.
Lord Zillus? Oh, it's you. When Zillus said there were insects, this is not what I expected. Colonel Gola, Imperial Reclamation Service. As you're answering a hollow frequency that belongs to my team, I can only assume they're all dead.
Deader than a tusk beast on Kintan.
Except for one, I see. What will it take for you to return her to me, alive?
There's nothing you can offer me. I want you both dead.
Her wounds are bad. She won't make it. Not like she'd help us anyway.
You two go ahead. I'll take care of her.
You're sure?
It's fine. If you want to get out of here alive, then listen up and do exactly what I tell you. Here's a Kolto pack. It should be enough to get you on your feet and out of the ruins. Wait until we're gone.
Why? Why would I take anything from you, worm?
You can insult me all you want, but we're on the same side. That counts for something. Stop right there.
Did you do this? Weren't these people on your side?
Don't be stupid. They were dead when I found this room. Such a shame. If only Lord Malgus could have found any semblance of concern for the Empire, he might have spared my people.
You think Malgus did this?
Don't tell me you're surprised. I knew Malgus was looking for something to break the ties that bound him to Empress Asina, but I never dreamed he would go this far.
What do you mean?
He was controlled by our Empress, compelled to carry out her orders. Malgus wanted to destroy those chains at any cost, even if it meant killing loyal servants of the Empire. Malgus is nothing like the mighty Sith I have served and admired. Noble heroes like those I've known seem to be a dying breed. I've seen many strange and terrible things in the Reclamation Service, but one thing is always consistent. Those who wield the Force will go to any lengths for power. The atrocities that happened centuries ago in these very halls are proof of that. People like you and I will pay the price, as people like your friends here climb over us.
That's not true!
Hold on. Something's not right. Let's go, before we find out what it is. Forget about him, he's not who we came for.
I have faced things you couldn't fathom in your wildest nightmares. Nothing you threaten me with can scare me away from my duty. But if you wish to abandon your foolish efforts, I could be persuaded to give you a head start.
When I'm through, you'll be like everything else down here, dead and forgotten. A fitting end for an archaeologist.
For the Empire! This can't be the end.
Enough talk. I've wanted to kill you since you interrupted me in the tunnels.
No!
What's wrong?
Whatever it was I felt earlier, it's happening again if we don't...
I would have much preferred to kill you in person. I did give my word.
Lanier, what are you...
Go! Now! Or we all die!
What are you...
Get out of here! Go! If you're all ready, let's get started. I didn't know we had guests.
Since we're discussing business that could affect our ability to rebuild the Jedi, I thought it best to invite some of the Order's most important representatives. Tao is eager to hear about what happened on Dantooine.
That I am. I'm sure it's quite a story.
You might not even believe half of it.
Don't worry. Probably heard crazier stories from the old man.
This is Master Sal Daren. She's been instrumental in tracking down former Jedi and identifying potential additions to the Order.
I look forward to working with you. Someone with your particular skills and assets could play a crucial role in many of my plans.
Interesting. I was just thinking the same thing about you.
I'm sure you were.
And this is Master Vinyor Tesh, one of our most diligent stewards of Jedi libraries and archives.
Before we begin, I must speak plainly. I don't believe we should include anyone in this meeting who is no longer a part of the Jedi Order. Or was never a part of the Order to begin with.
You're kidding, right?
Absolutely not. We're here to discuss matters that could change the fate of the Jedi forever.
But you wouldn't even be having this meeting if it weren't for the two of them.
Arn!
This is ridiculous! When did we decide that Master Vinyor is the only one who gets to approve who helps the Jedi?
I don't think he's implying that.
Then they stay.
Thanks for sticking up for me. I really appreciate it.
I had to say something. We couldn't have done this operation without you.
They aren't necessarily the words I would have chosen, but I do agree with Arn's sentiment. Remember, you are all here because of the part you play in restoring the Jedi, regardless of your rank or title. Now then, please tell us what happened in the Enclave on Dantooine.
That soldier from the Reclamation Service. Colonel Gola, the one who tried to kill us. He said something about Malgus looking for a way to break his ties to Empress Sina. Whatever Malgus did down there, it worked. He's not bound to the Empire anymore.
Don't forget the display case we found smashed to bits. I think Malgus might have taken something from the Enclave.
And Gola escaped. I'd bet every last one of my credits that the Empire knows everything we do.
That is troubling. Any one of the relics that were hidden in that enclave would be deadly enough in Darth Malgus's hands, and now you say he's untethered. Arn, you and I will comb any records the Jedi still possess about the Dantooine Enclave. We must do everything we can to identify what Malgus took. Master Vinyor, we will need your assistance.
Consider it done. I can start searching files immediately.
I'll also need everything we have about the Ossus library.
Why Ossus?
This isn't the first time Malgus has stolen a relic. On Ossus, after Malgus left me for dead in the library, I saw him flee with something. A tome? I couldn't be sure. Everything was in such chaos, and we hadn't finished cataloging the library even before the Empire attacked.
I don't like important things being kept from me. If I'm going to be a part of Task Force Nova, I expect to be treated as an equal.
That has always been my intention. Chancellor Rands expressed concern about some of the information that's fallen into Imperial hands. She suggested I use discretion. But now that a pattern is emerging...
If Malgus is ransacking Jedi ruins, we should deploy forces to any place we suspect he might go. I'll speak with General Daerun immediately.
Thank you, Master Saldarin.
I'll begin compiling our records in the Dantooine Enclave. I should have something ready as soon as possible, Master Nostaral.
After all that, we're no closer to knowing where Malgus has gone.
Don't worry. That will change soon. In the meantime...
We get ready. And when Malgus decides to show himself again, we'll be waiting for him.
Good, you're here. We have much to discuss. After his visit to Dantooine, I know we're all uneasy about what Darth Malgus is planning.
Master Nosteral and the others in Task Force Nova are doing all they can to dig up leads on what Malgus is after, but sad to say, it's slow going.
If this is all you've got for an update, let's hear from someone else. Otherwise, we're wasting my time.
I think this is something you'll find intriguing.
Okay, recording started. Date stamped. Encryption is working. This is Shay Vizsla. I've got an update on my pursuit of Field Marshal Hedda Cole, responsible for attacking the Spirit of Vengeance too. I want to be clear. My only goal is finding this traitor, and I need the Alliance's help following up. I'm sure Hedda's group, the Hidden Chain, has established a permanent base. Location unknown. I need to know who is supplying her and how. I've included my findings in this transmission. Do this, and I owe you. At my end, I'm running down a slippery recruiter with links to Hedda. I have the local Darmanda and Meksha to thank for the lead. Tell the commander that Indigo is still a grubby Minoc. Alright, I'm landing in a few minutes and need to go dark. This recruiter has led me on a real chase, and I won't let him escape again. Shay out.
We've done some preliminary work with Shay's intel, but we need an asset on the ground. The closed nature of the Mandalorians makes gathering information challenging.
Have we got someone in mind?
One name stood out, Akavi Spar. You've worked together before. Thoughts?
Akavi can do what needs to be done.
Glad to hear it. I'll make the arrangements.
Keep me posted. What else have we got?
That's all for now, Commander. I'll notify you if anything changes.
Now that all the important people are here, let's get down to business. Akavi, what have you got?
Based on intelligence provided by Mandalore, I was able to narrow my search and scout potential suppliers to Hedda Cole and her group, the Hidden Chain. Hedda's targets, Outer Rim colonies and transports on the Rim of Trade route, point to powerful trade houses shutting down their competition with her guns. Those will likely be our suppliers. I have advised Jakaya Ordo, and he is marshalling Mandalore's fleet as a precaution. You'll find everything I uncovered in my report.
Okay, we'll get our analysts on that. Good work.
Made it back okay, I see.
Of course. Did you expect otherwise?
Never. You're as dependable as a hut. You know, doing something we expect. Look, it's just nice to have you back.
It sounds like you missed me.
Missed? Nah, of course not. Everything is fine.
I don't think you're telling the truth. I'm enjoying your discomfort.
Did you? Are you flirting? Was that flirting?
I think it's time I talk about my reconnaissance mission.
Leave me wanting more. Very cruel.
You were right to send me. Those who supply Hedda Cole are paranoid and prone to disappear. It is only because I am Mandalorian that I got as close as I did. The suppliers are very much afraid of Hedda's wrath should they disappoint her, or worse, reveal any of her secrets. She's being very careful. Her ruthless reputation and a seemingly endless supply of credits from her raids means she can keep her secrets. Her suspected suppliers in my report are scattered across the galaxy. We find them, we hurt her.
You don't sound sure about your findings.
I am not. I attempted to attach a tracking device to some of the shipments, but none made it past a security sweep. Hedda Cole has very strict instructions for any she does business with.
How can your information be trusted then?
You can trust it's the best intelligence we have. Until Mandalore herself calls on me to strike her enemies down, I will continue this work. But I should get back to helping your analysts go through my report.
You do that. I'll be waiting.
It's why I always come back.